Hello and welcome back to the Tea and a Buddy podcast. I'm Dominic.
And I'm Erica.
And today's episode, we're talking about something very important to the community.
Very, very important.
Very important stuff.
Possibly the most important podcast we've ever made.
Yeah, this is actually the most important podcast we've ever made. Important episodes, surely. It's about...
This one will go down in history.
Scandoval. Scandoval is here. And I know most of you, we put up a poll.
Yeah.
And most of the people were like, what are you talking about? What is this?
Yeah.
What are you
a lot of people
about?
didn't choose either one, so I don't know what that means.
That means...
They don't know.
They're disinterested. Not interested whatsoever in
I don't
this.
understand why our followers on Instagram don't seem to know what Vanderpump Rules is, but yet everybody on TikTok is talking about it. And you say everybody on Twitter is talking about it as well.
Well,
I don't go on Twitter as often.
There's a few people, you look at tweets and then you start getting fed those similar tweets. It's the same with TikTok.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess that doesn't happen on Instagram? I don't know.
It does happen, yeah.
It does if you use the search. If you use the, whatever that page is called.
What is it called?
You know, the page where it shows you, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. The search feature.
Yeah.
We're old.
We're old.
We don't know what it's called anymore.
Okay, so Scandoval.
MySpace.
Hashtag Scandoval. Yeah, MySpace. Go on. Hashtag Scandoval has to do with the Bravo series Vanderpump Rules.
Vanderpump Rules, everybody.
Your favorite show.
My favorite show. Possibly the greatest show that was ever made.
Listen, it's probably the only show that I watch still. I used to be a big Housewives
You were a
person.
Housewives head for a long time, yes. And you were also Jersey Shore.
Well, that didn't come on Bravo.
Yeah, I know, but this is all I'm just going to be outing your reality shows. And what was that one? Jersey Cats or something, wasn't it?
You have to have some trash TV. You know, I love a really
trash TV.
I love a really good scripted show. Like, I get into it. You know, I become the characters in those shows. But sometimes you just want to turn your brain off and you don't want to have to think too hard about what's going on or whatever.
Yeah.
For you like to play video games.
Yes.
And I like to watch trash TV.
I like to play video games and I get into the characters in the video games. I don't think there is such a thing as a reality video game unless you think about it.
It would be like a choose your own adventure type thing, I guess.
Well, there's a lot of them. That's pretty much every game.
Can you imagine if there was a Vanderpump Rules video game? Who would you choose to be? What character would you play?
This has turned into Vanderpump Rules, the video game now, and we're going to pitch this to Bravo and get a developer on board. Not Electronic Arts, but, I know exactly what character
you choose your character and you see how many other cast members you can sleep with before the series is canceled.
Well, I'd have to be Raquel then, wouldn't I?
Raquel or Jax. I think they're
Raquel or Jax.
They're competing with each other at this point.
Jax is the villain in this. It's like, oh, Jax got to Sandoval before me. Oh no, what am I gonna do? I don't have enough. I don't have enough coins.
He may have. You really, in real life, you really don't know what's going on with this group because. Okay, so one of the things...
Yeah, let's back up. Let's give the people who have absolutely zero interest in this topic.
Oh, if you have no interest, please just keep listening, because I promise you, it is so...
It does get better. It is quite mildly interesting, I will admit,
It's one of the more juicy reality shows, because... And this is according to the cast members themselves in various interviews. It's not like... Do you guys remember when we were teenagers, the shows, Laguna Beach, and then it became The Hills after that? I don't think you don't remember.
I don't remember. I never really watched reality TV until I came over here.
At all?
The Big Brother was the only thing I watched.
So, like, the more competition-y ones.
Competition-y ones, and that was only because it was on all the time.
Yeah. I guess, when I think about it, I've been watching reality TV, since I was a kid. The Real World. Well, I used to love The Real World when I was, a preteen. and Teenager. Oh, that was my show. I just loved it so much.
Big Brother was huge. I mean, like American Idol, Pop Idol as it was known in the UK.
Yeah.
Pop Stars.
They used to classify them all as reality shows, but now those are like reality competition series. Yeah.
And there's a lot of them, like Survivor and all that kind of stuff, and Naked and Afraid, and,
yeah,
you're going to do this for just watching run-of-the-mill people compete for money,
That's what exists more that's what exists more than anything now. Like the Osbournes and...
Well, the Osbournes, that's what kicked off reality.
Newlyweds with Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey. Those were all like, those kicked off the reality series, but they were like celebrities.
Well, the Osbournes, I think, was the one that really popularized the whole thing. Mm-hmm. She opened up Ozzy Osbourne and their kids' lives to this,
I mean, really, the only ones like that
Sharon
now are on Bravo. I don't really... I mean, Jersey Shore, I think, still exists on MTV, but, they plan a lot of the things they're going to do. It's not like real life anymore because all of them are in separate relationships. They all have kids. There's nothing really tying them together anymore besides this show. Which, Vanderpump Rules, a lot of them are married and have kids at this point, too. But, okay, so we'll back up now, like you said. This is a series based on a group of people who worked in Lisa Vanderpump's restaurant in, like, Beverly Hills or West Hollywood.
If you have no idea who Lisa Vanderpump is, she was one of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills before this show was made. Mm-hmm. And she pitched it to Andy Cohen.
Yeah.
As, I've got a bunch of people that work in my bar.
Yeah.
That would be good material, good TV.
Yeah. So because of where the restaurant is positioned, I guess because it's so, it's right there at Hollywood and Beverly Hills, it's like she wanted all of her staff to be like model.
Attractive looking, yeah.
Yeah, model quality.
Put a headshot in,
Yeah, and they've said that in the show. They were talking one day in the show, this is early on in the series.
Like first season.
Yeah, first season. Oh, this is the only waitressing job I've ever had to turn a headshot in when I applied for the job, like you had to have a headshot attached to your resume or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, and she had a lot of celebrities coming in to frequent the restaurant. So she wanted attractive in quotation marks, people waiting on them, She wanted an attractive staff. So that's where this starts. The show is about that staff originally, but it just so happens in this one particular restaurant of Lisa Vanderpump's, a majority of the staff, they have worked together for years, yes, but they knew each other before they even moved to LA. Like there were 5, however many years of knowing each other since these guys were like 18, 19 years old. Mm. And they all moved to LA together. A particular group of guys, 3 of the main guys, which were Jax Taylor, Tom Sandoval, and Tom Schwartz. And then their girlfriends, some of them were with them, and then others they didn't meet, and I think until they were in LA. But still, they all had a history before the show. Yeah. Unlike some of these other reality shows, like The Housewives or like Jersey Shore, where the cast is all kind of put together.
Yeah, they're like manufactured reality.
Yeah. Well, I think on some of The Housewives, it's like, it'll be like a couple of people who are either related to each other, or a couple of close friends who have been friends for years, and then like some of their friends or people that they know, somebody that they've worked with in the past.
The prerequisite for being a housewife is that you've got to be rich.
Yeah.
You've got to have money. Mm-hmm. And it's like you've got to have a load of like inane things to do And also petty drama with the other,
Very petty, yes.
Manufacture some petty drama.
I don't know that they have to manufacture it. I think that they have nothing else to do and they're very shallow people, so it's easy to come up with that level of drama.
You said this to me at that party.
Yes.
And I just don't, and it's the same kind of thing on Vanderpump Rules, really.
And because there's a lot, in the difference between Vanderpump Rules and the Housewives is the money. Because these guys on Vanderpump Rules, they're all aspiring actors, aspiring musicians, aspiring models, but they're all waitresses and bartenders at the end of the day. So they have nowhere near the amount of money that these people on the Housewives have. So I think that was another thing that made them appealing to a mass audience. Was they're like us in a way, Whereas the Housewives are very much not like us, except for maybe, some of their nonsensical drama. Okay, so you have Jax Taylor, Tom Schwartz, Tom Sandoval, their girlfriends. Jax's girlfriend was Stassi. Tom Sandoval's girlfriend was Kristen Doty. And Tom Schwartz's girlfriend was Katie Mahoney. Maloney? I'm not sure.
Mahoney, I think, sounds better, because, Police Academy. Because they are pretty much the cast of Police Academy,
It might be Maloney.
I have no idea. I'm not that invested in them to actually have their social security numbers.
So we're in season 10 at this point.
Yeah.
Jax Taylor and Stassi Schroeder were
Stassi Schroeder.
Sort of their relationship was sort of, they became the breakout stars of the show. Okay, they're not in the series anymore because of some drama of their own.
From last year or something.
From 2-3 years ago, yeah. So they haven't been on the series for 2 or 3 years. But they're all still friends. If you guys follow them on social media, you see them at each other's kids' birthday parties and going to Disneyland together. These people are still, they're real life friends.
It's not a case of I don't see them anymore because
we don't film together.
That was a show.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. They're friends. They don't film any. And what I've heard them talking about before, some of the ones that are not on the cast anymore is they hate it because they don't get to go to some of the events because they're not part of the cast anymore and they're off the show. They have been fired, so they're not allowed to be at these events.
It should be kind of like when they're at a James Bond premiere. All the past people who were in, you don't have to be in that one film. Mm-hmm. It's all the people who gets an invite,
Yeah.
If you're a Bravo alum, then you get an invite,
Yeah, so at this point in the series, we're in series 10 now. At this point in the series, the two Toms have a bar with Lisa Vanderpump called Tom Tom, and where they each own only 5% of the bar. And they've now opened up another bar together without her called Schwartz and Sandy's. And when they have these bar openings and things like that, they have all these extra people, at the parties, at these openings and stuff in the background that don't say a word on camera. They're just there because they actually are friends or co-workers or family cast, or whatever. We just don't, they're just there. They're just attending the party. They're just there. They're in the background. Almost like extras if it was a scripted show,
Yeah.
So I don't see why Jax and Stassi and them couldn't go and just be in the background, but I guess so, because people would go, oh, they're there,
Jax there, yeah.
Because they're
past cast members,
yeah. So they've said that before, oh, it kind of sucks because we can't be at these events. We can't go on these trips. Sometimes, let's all go take a trip to Mexico in the show, And so their friends can't come with them because they're not on the show anymore. Because
they'd have to be paid for an appearance fee,
Yeah, but it's
even if it was a cameo appearance, they can't put special appearance by Jax Taylor in the credits.
How weird though would that be? Literally all your friends are taking a trip together, but you're not allowed to go.
How often do they film? They film maybe 3 months.
I guess
out of the year.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe more, because, I mean, they always have, like, a skeleton crew, as you say, following them around just in case something erupts.
That's just during filming. So from what I understand, they film from, like it's an actual show or a movie or something. They have filming hours. This is what I understand, just based on
it's 9 to 5, it's union.
9 to 5, whatever.
It's union,
yeah, it's probably union. So they have certain hours. If there's some sort of drama going on, while they're filming the series, they say, okay, well, don't have that discussion. Hold off. Do not call them to have that discussion when we're not filming. You wait until filming hours, meet at a restaurant or something, and we'll film you having that discussion. So in that way, it's manufactured. So everything that happens is organic, except for things like that.
It's like reconstructions. Yeah.
Yeah, except for because they haven't. Oh, I'm mad at so and so, and I want to call and give them a piece of my mind. No, don't. You have to wait until we're filming to do that.
Yeah.
So they haven't done it. They have to hold off.
And they would probably doing that when this scandal broke.
And when they hold off, though, can you imagine, like, they make you hold off so you have time to cool down. Maybe you're not as pissed off anymore by the time you have to meet up with them.
Okay, we're going to shoot this scene. You're going to phone up Raquel. You're very mad at her now.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm not. I'm over it now, yeah. Like, well, you better get in the mood then.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they probably have people saying, remember what she did to you?
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah, that's right. We need that energy. Okay. Action.
So from what I understand, they film from this time to this time, but they're filming for a total of 3 months. So when they're not in those filming hours, they have a skeleton crew of like one guy with a camera and one guy with
a sound with a mic.
And that's it. And they're just kind of like, they're with you if there's more than one person together, they're with you just in case something happens. And it has on The Housewives. Usually they'll put that footage like in black and white to let you know, like, this happened during non-filming hours, and we only had our one guy with his little camera there. And then nobody's mic'd up or anything, so they have to put the what they're saying on the screen so that you can even understand what they're saying. Okay. That doesn't actually happen too often in Vanderpump Rules that I can think of, but I have seen it on The Housewives in the past. Okay, so quickly, we haven't even gone to the meat of what is happening, the meat of the Scandoval.
Yeah, we haven't even got to the Scandoval yet. We've just been telling you all the goings-on, how reality television works.
Okay, so Scandoval is based on a cheating rumor right now. I mean, I think it has been.
It's been confirmed.
It's been confirmed, yeah.
I mean,
a cheating scandal, we'll say, not a rumor.
What's her name? Ariana hasn't made a statement to the press.
No. So, this is way too complicated to do in one podcast. Okay. So, I said before, Tom Sandoval dated Kristen Doty. They broke up. Kristen Doty then started dating a new member to the cast, but somebody who had a long past familial relationship with Lisa Vanderpump named James Kennedy, this little British DJ guy. She started dating him.
James Kennedy, a.k.a. White Kanye.
That's what he calls himself. And Tom Sandoval started dating a co-worker, Ariana Madix. There were rumors at the time that he was cheating on Kristen with Ariana already before they broke up. But anyway, they got together. She got with James. Kristen got with James. Tom got with Ariana. Okay, so they both dated for a while. Kristen and James broke up, and James started dating a girl he met while DJing, I think at Sir, named Raquel Leviss.
Raquel Leviss.
Yeah.
And has entered the chat.
And all of the other cast members now are saying, oh, Raquel was a fan of the show. Like, she was desperate to try to get in with them.
Yes.
Yeah. And so she hung out, like, for ages trying to meet James. She met him and, like, tried her hardest to get a date. I don't know. I mean, who knows if any of this is true. But anyways, they started dating for a while. They got engaged. And I think she was on the series for a few seasons before they got engaged. Tom Sandoval put a lot of his own money, like $10,000, into creating Rochella, like a version of Coachella with actual food booths and I'm not sure what else, in order for James Kennedy to propose to Raquel in this, like, extravagant kind of way. I think Coachella maybe wasn't going on. It was just after...
Yeah.
It was just after COVID, I think.
So Tom Sandoval paid for their engagement party.
Yeah, he put a lot of money in, like 10,000. Like, I think James paid for some, but Tom paid like $10,000 to have these food booths and whatever else to create a little miniature Coachella, and they called it Rochella. And so James proposed to her. She said yes, but then they broke up by the end of that season. By the time they did the reunion for that season, she had called it off, and everybody found out at the reunion and gasped like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so meanwhile, Tom Sandoval and Ariana are still dating. That was last season.
2022.
Yeah.
2021, 22.
2021. In the, like, winter, maybe? In the fall, something. I don't know when it ended. Anyway, in the fall, I think. And then in the winter, Tom Schwartz and Katie Mahoney Maloney broke off their marriage. They got divorced. Okay, so brings us to this season of Vanderpump Rules. We're only like 4 or 5 episodes into this season, I think. This is all very complicated, I understand. You don't know who any of these people are.
Unless you follow it, unless you're a listener who's plugged into, because you can't get enough of this, then you know what's going on, you know?
Yeah. The trailer for this season shows that Tom Schwartz and Raquel Leviss are going to make out at Sheena's wedding. And that's basically the premise for this whole series. Like, the drama regarding that, because Raquel is at this point sort of part of their friend group. So it's like, she's betrayed Katie. And
yeah, she's keeping in any way she can at this point.
Katie and Tom Schwartz apparently made a deal when they got divorced. We're not going to date anybody within our friend group. Like, I want you to date. I want you to be happy. I want you to get married again if that's what you want to do. But let's, like, stay away from people that are in our friend group. And they have a pretty large friend group. Okay, they agreed that. But then we see him and Raquel making out. Well, there had been rumors that the previous summer she had been seen at Coachella making out with Tom Schwartz. Tom Schwartz says, he chimes in, I wasn't at Coachella. Yeah. So these rumors are not true. I did not go to Coachella this year. Well, Tom Sandoval, it turns out, did go to Coachella. There is a picture of Raquel on his shoulders at Coachella. I don't know if Ariana was there. I'm assuming she was. Surely he didn't go to Coachella without her. Ariana, of course, was Tom Sandoval's girlfriend. And they have bought a house together at this point. They have lived together many years. They're not married, but common law married. They've been together for like 8-10 years, something like that. And
I feel it should be prudent here to mention that Tom Sandoval has a cover band, and it's called Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras.
Yes. He started that, like, in between seasons also, I think. And he's very, like, wearing these, like, extravagant costumes, and he's got, like, a 7-piece orchestra.
He thinks he's Johnny Silverhand. He's very freaking,
Who's Johnny Silverhand?
Keanu Reeves plays him.
What? In what?
In Cyberpunk. Oh. He's a rock star in Cyberpunk. Okay. That's probably why he's like, I'm Johnny Silverhand. I'm Johnny Depp. I'm Johnny. I'm one of the Johnnies, but my name is Tom,
I mean, he's tried to have, like, sort of a music career before. He got, in one of the series, he got with this guy, and they made a music video, and Ariana and Lala were in it. And, yeah. So
yes.
Yeah. So they've finished filming this series. They're gonna film the reunion in a couple of weeks.
It's gonna be explosive.
And TMZ breaks the news that Tom Sandoval and Ariana Madix have called it quits because of allegations that he was cheating. Everybody's shocked. Everybody's like,
who is he cheating with? Yeah.
Yeah, who is he cheating with? Okay, so then the story just starts coming out. Like, every hour there was a new bit of gossip. And everybody's just eating it up because it's just so like messed up, really.
It's messed up.
Yeah. So he has been cheating with Raquel, who is James Kennedy's ex-girlfriend, who is very good friends at this point with Ariana Madix, Tom Sandoval's live-in girlfriend.
Yeah.
He's been cheating with her for like 7 months. Everybody's speculating. So the rumors of Raquel being seen making out with Tom at Coachella were in fact true. But it wasn't Tom Schwartz. It was Tom Sandoval.
Tom Sandoval.
So apparently what happened...
And the Most Extras.
So apparently what happened is at Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras concert, like last week or a week and a half ago about, Ariana was there watching, cheering along. There's people have video because the only people going to see Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras
are the Vanderpump Rules fans. Yeah.
So they're filming, of course, if they see Ariana there, they're getting their phones out there because they're getting a 2-for-1, like, oh, Ariana's here and Tom's on stage. Yay, Tom's phone falls out of his pants, apparently. Why he would have his phone on him while he's on stage performing, I didn't quite understand, but sure.
Well, I mean, he needs to keep something under wraps, doesn't he?
Oh, maybe.
That's probably
maybe that's why.
And there may be more to it, but we'll get there.
And I don't know. I want to say roadie, but does he have roadies? I don't know. Somebody hands it to Ariana.
Some hanger-on who thinks they're famous.
Somebody hands it to Ariana and says, here's Tom's phone. It fell out. He dropped it. You want to hold on to it. So she's holding on to it. Guess who else happens to be at the show with Ariana to corroborate all of this? Kristen Doty herself, an ex-cast member, and also Tom Sandoval's ex-girlfriend before Ariana Madix, because they two are great friends now. They're watching the show together. She sees that she gets his phone, hears the guy say, here's his phone, and Ariana says something in her gut told her to look at the phone.
Something in her gut that looked and sounded like Kristen Doty told her to check his phone.
I don't know. Kristen doesn't say that. And she didn't see anything because apparently this was like at the end of the show now. Ariana took the phone into the bathroom and with, I guess, somebody else they were there with. The two of them went in the bathroom and were in there for ages. And so
Kristen and Ariana?
No, Ariana and somebody else.
Somebody else.
One of their guy friends or something. I don't know. They go into the bathroom and they're in there for ages. And Kristen and her boyfriend are like, okay, well, we're gonna go. The show's over. Like, so we go. And then I guess she talked to Ariana afterward. This all comes from Kristen Doty, who did a podcast of her own on this very topic. If you want to go look for it, it's called Sex, Love, and What Else Matters. She has her own podcast. Lala Kent has her own podcast. Stassi has her own podcast. Sheena has her own podcast. Several members.
Sheena's got her own YouTube channel too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sheena Shea Shenanigans.
Several members of the cast and former members of the cast have podcasts. So if you want to go check them out, they're all on everywhere.
Like us.
Yeah.
If you want to go check us out, we're everywhere.
Yeah. So she and her boyfriend leave, and I guess she talks to her later. Apparently what happened is that Ariana looks through Tom's phone and sees a screen recording of a FaceTime between himself, Tom Sandoval, and Raquel Leviss, where they are pleasuring themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he apparently, screen recorded it as it was as the FaceTime call was happening. And so she goes through so she goes through his texts then and sees that he and Raquel have been like exchanging sexy texts for months and months and months.
Months and months.
Yeah. And apparently she also recalls a time when, for some reason, I'm not sure, I don't know why, maybe it'll probably come out in the reunion, why Raquel was staying with them. But apparently Raquel was staying with them at some night in their guest room, and Ariana caught Tom coming out of the bedroom that Raquel was in. And it was like at an unreasonable hour, it was like at an hour that both of them should have been asleep, And he tells Ariana that he was bringing Raquel a glass of water. She remembered that had happened. And you said, which is probably what made her think,
something's
I'm
going
to look
on.
at his phone.
Yeah. He's done too many weird things.
Yeah.
There's also allegations from other women that, it wasn't just Raquel he was cheating with, it was me too, and everything else.
When he's gone to different cities,
he's got a girl in every city.
He slept with a different girl, after the gigs.
A most extra in every city.
So the night that this all happens is the same night. It was like 2 Wednesdays ago at this point. Yeah, not last Wednesday, but the previous Wednesday, when Sheena and Raquel were recording Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen in New York City. And Ariana knew that they were together. Well, she calls... They've already finished, and they're at a bar together, Sheena and Raquel are. And she calls... Everybody was saying at first she called Sheena, but apparently Sheena said she called Raquel. And Raquel was on the phone and just kind of marching back and forth on the phone, and Sheena goes looking for her and sees her, and she's like, who are you talking to? Who are you on the phone with? And Raquel, sort of in a flippant, she's an airhead, guys. If you've seen the show, you know.
Yeah, she's an airhead, and I've got something formulating in my brain as to how this has all gone down. But carry on.
Yeah, Lala famously coined her one season as, and everybody's now using it, a Bambi-eyed bleach. B word, yeah. And whether it's true or not, you have to judge for yourself. Yeah. Anyway. So she kind of says, I'm talking to Ariana, me and Tom had a 7-month affair. Just like blasé, just like, a matter of fact,
Yeah.
Well, apparently, Sheena, and this I think comes from Raquel now, Sheena got mad, took Raquel's phone off of her, threw it in the street, and shoved Raquel up against the wall, and punched her in the face. Punched her in the eye, yeah. So Raquel has now filed a restraining order against Sheena. Everybody believes that she did that not because she thinks anything else is going to happen.
Sheena denied it, though.
Sheena denied it. Everybody denied it. Nobody else was there, so I don't know how they can all... But they're all like, we've got Sheena's back, because they're all very angry. They all feel betrayed, even though Tom Sandoval didn't cheat on any of the rest of them.
Some people think that the Raquel and Tom Sandoval thing has been going on longer than 7 months, because they put this weird date. Oh, it's been going on 7 months. I guess because of the texts or whatever. That's when Ariana says, it's been going on for 7 months.
I think Raquel must have said something, because Kristen Doty said that. So I guess that came from Sheena. I mean, all of this is like, she said and she said.
Yes, because Ariana hasn't come out and definitively said anything. I guess because on the advice of Bravo.
Yeah.
Don't say anything. Don't make it any
statements. Well, they picked the cameras back up. They had finished filming.
They've picked the cameras back up and they are filming everything now.
Yeah.
But, there's some people think that it's been going on longer. People think, Raquel dumped James because she was doing this, she was starting something with Tom up.
Yeah.
People think it may have even gone, she may have been cheating on James with Tom. Mm-hmm. And there's all this kind of stuff because she was staying in the house and she was getting close to, and then there's people thinking that Raquel, she's just this big mastermind, and she was hiding behind James Kennedy.
Yeah.
Who's, he likes to control her, like, oh, wear this and wear that and look like that, but really she was just going, oh, okay, yeah, I will. But it's like, she was reverse manipulation, Yeah. It's kind of like, okay, I'll wear this, but you've got to do this for me,
Yeah, I mean, I really think the people who think all of that kind of thing, they're giving her way too much credit.
They're giving her way too much credit, but again, we don't really know.
I think she's just
She might be.
I think she's just a
She's apparently left
girl.
California now. No one can find her.
I think she went home.
She's gone to ground.
I don't know where her parents live, but I think somebody said, "Oh, she's gone and she's
her evil underground lair, and she shaved her head bald, and she's got a freaking Persian cat."
Yeah,
she's an evil genius.
People think she's evil, and she's
Dr. Raquel Varys,
and she's been coming up with all of this for years, and she wants to,
Well, the thing
because of her name is not Raquel.
And because she was desperate to get on the show. And apparently that's a thing with a lot of, like they say that about a lot of the women who try to get on these reality shows. They are willing to do anything and they will scheme their way into it.
Yeah. Well, what I think is interesting is somebody on TikTok came on and said, oh, my husband went to high school with her, and they showed the high school yearbook, and her name is Rachel. It's not Raquel. Well, in Spanish, the name Rachel is Raquel. She's not Hispanic. I mean, I don't think she's Hispanic anyway. We've seen her family on James and her's engagement party, and
what was it called? Nanny Buttons.
Yeah,
Nanny Buttons is here.
I think
Buttons.
I think they just called her Buttons. Yeah, everybody loved her grandma.
James Kennedy's gonna say, Raquel, what would Nanny Buttons say?
So people
what would
are
Granny Buttons say?
So people are really going for her because she changed her name. A lot of people in Hollywood change their names, and she barely changed it. She just used the Spanish version of her name, to make herself sound more ethnic. I don't know.
To more interesting,
more exotic, maybe. I don't know. But it's like, that's not such a big deal. I don't know. To me, a lot of people do that, maybe, in that industry. Well, Jax. You said before, Jax himself did it, His name is Jason.
Yeah.
So, and he was the big star, the big original star. Maybe she was modeling herself after him from the get-go.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe she was a fan of the show, and she saw Jax plowing through everything, getting all the screen time because he was the villain, and she thought, that's a good job.
Oh my God, could you imagine?
Yeah. Tom Sandoval is just the latest victim in Raquel's crusade to bring everything down.
Maybe
she's on the phone with Andy now saying, oh, I need my own series.
She wants Raquel
Varys Takes Kentucky.
She wants equal time for women or whatever, she's like, oh, there can be a female villain, I can be the female Jax, you know?
Me? Can I be the female Jax? Oh.
Oh, yeah. So everybody's going back and trying to read things into things. There's actually a lot of people's videos floating around of her at all these Tom and the Most Extras concerts. And she's the only one there. She's the only, cast member. She's there by herself. And nobody thought... And they're all saying now, oh, I thought it was a bit weird that none of the other girls were there and she was the only one there. And it's just why didn't she, Actually, somebody did repost a video where somebody had put it up originally where they said, oh, it's a bit weird. Raquel's here randomly, I don't know why. That's a bit weird that she's here by herself,
With a nose.
Oh, and somebody else said, I'm now remembering, somebody else put up a review of Schwartz and Sandy's, which is Tom Sandoval and Tom Schwartz's new
Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras, everybody.
they put up a review. They were like, oh, the food is okay, but it's overpriced, blah, blah, blah. It was before the Scandoval broke. They were just reviewing the place. And then as a side note, like nothing to do with their review, they just put, randomly, Raquel was also here, and I found that so weird that she was here. And somebody else goes, oh, she was there when I went also. And this is from, like, months ago.
This is from beyond 7 months ago.
There's things like...
well, allegedly.
There's things like they're both wearing, like, lightning bolt necklaces in front of everybody, in front of all the friends and everything.
Well, Raquel being on his shoulders at Coachella's a bit weird, too. It's like, find some other guy.
Yeah, well, I saw somebody say this friend group doesn't really have boundaries, so they could see how nobody would think it was weird because, like... They hang out with each other all the time.
Yeah, I think now, at the end of all this, Raquel's done with the show. I mean...
I don't know what's going to happen with the show. I mean...
Yeah, so do you think that this would have been a bigger thing if Tom Sandoval had cheated with some random person that come into the restaurant?
Yeah, we talked...
And not Raquel or one of the cast members.
Right. No,
because imagine he'd gone out with, like, if he'd been doing it with Katie, Yeah.
It
would be the same thing.
Oh, yes.
That would be... That would be
even, way worse.
That would be even more wild.
That would be way
See, it sounded like, he missed a trick there because, I mean, it's his best friend's ex-wife.
Oh my god, that would be 1,000 times worse. No, that is something you and I talked about that I surprisingly haven't seen anybody else bring up anywhere else. And I just think that is what makes it so scandalous, the fact that she is a friend and a cast member. She's somebody on the show. Yeah. She's somebody we all know. She's
not just some random person who comes in.
Yeah, she could have even been somebody that they all know, but that we don't know. You know what I mean? She could have been somebody, he could have cheated with somebody that their whole friend group knows and is friends with, but I still don't think it would have been as big a deal.
No,
because we didn't know her.
Yeah, because I think it would have been a little bit of Tom Sandoval and Ariana, whatever, split. Mm-hmm. And it's because she found out he'd been cheating with
Lauren Waitress.
Jane Doe.
Yeah.
Jane Doe from Hollywood.
That would have still been, that still would have been as big of a scandal for them in real life.
Yes.
For all of their group.
And it would have made great TV. Because then they'd be like, oh, okay, well, we'll have to introduce this Jane Doe into the storyline.
Yeah. But I don't think it would be like, you just pulled up Rolling Stone and it's like, it's a big, they have a big article about it or something.
A big article about it with a picture of, Sandoval and Ariana, and it's split down the middle, and there's just a big full-length picture of Raquel.
Yeah.
Doing a pose. Doing a pose.
I mean, we're laughing. Obviously, it's terrible for all the people
It's terrible,
involved,
but we're laughing because, it's not the end of the world. It's not as if he killed anyone. And I mean, that's not excusing his behavior.
No, obviously not.
And, I feel we have to point this out because they did on, I don't know, it was The Internet Goes Crazy.
Yeah.
And then the crazy people on the internet start sending death threats.
They're trying to ruin
destroy
their
the business
and
bring him down, cancel him. And it's like, yeah, this is where it gets a bit stupid.
Well, it's like nobody's asking you to be involved with him. You know what I mean? Like,
no.
It's juicy. We're all interested because it was.
It's juicy, but then people are just like, they want to incite, let's burn the whole place to the ground, kill them all,
Yeah. I mean, I think...
And those people are mentally ill.
Yeah. It's like, it's taking things way too far, It's like...
Yeah.
It's none of our business, ultimately. I mean, obviously it is because they're on a show, but, like, let it end there,
Yeah.
For us, it's like, it's just entertainment. For them, it's their real life. Like, they all have to deal with this in real life, and, you know, that's sad for them, but let them do it without our involvement. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know any of these people in real life, so,
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I just, if it had been just some random girl that he met at a Tom and the Most Extras show that he's been carrying on with for 7 months. Which apparently
allegations have come out since this of, like, girls, Miami girl.
Well, that was seasons and seasons ago.
But everybody's like, justice for Miami girl. And I mean, there we go. You know, it's like, who's Miami girl? Oh, who is she? When were you in Miami?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, justice for Miami girl. Because everybody's like, oh, obviously that was probably real. And I remember thinking at the time, this is totally, he clearly did this because he ran off camera. Like, he ran away from the cameras. That's not the action of an innocent person. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, all Scandoval needs to do now is grow that moustache a bit thicker. You know?
You're obsessed with his mustache.
Ariana apparently did it, and then he thought, oh yeah, I'm a big porn star now.
She said in the show that she made him.
Maybe that's what got Raquel, was just like, that's what she's
the
hanging
porn
on
star
to.
Stash. Oh my god. The whole thing is built on, I mean, there's been other, like, cheating scandals that have happened within the show.
But it's Jax. It's like every week it's like, oh, Jax cheated on Stacy. Was it Stacy?
Yeah.
Jax cheated on whoever. And it's just like, there's a new girl every week coming into Sir saying that, you know? And it's like, that's not news anymore. It's just kind of like, oh, hey, you know. News. Like, there should be one who comes in with a bomb strapped to her and goes, I demand to see Jax. I demand to see Jax. And Lisa's just like, oh, it's another one.
God.
You know? Get her out of here.
There's been so many over the years, and they always seem to recover from it.
Well, they recover from it because they know how bad Jax is.
They always seem to continue to be friends, even though this stuff happens, and I guess it's just because...
Because there's that whole thing with Schwartz and Sandoval. Did Schwartz know all this time?
Oh, yeah, we didn't even talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, that's up to people to decide. Apparently he didn't.
Yeah.
And, that's his story and they're sticking to it.
Well, from the time that the trailer came out, I guess people who were interviewing them about the show, the trailer for this season, I guess people were asking Schwartz, because they used that in the trailer, what about this kiss between you and Raquel? What's going to happen this season or whatever? And Schwartz said, oh, I didn't even want to do that. Tom made me do it. He coerced me into doing it. He called me
orchestrating his downfall.
He told me I was a wussy if I didn't do it. So, but then now that the scandal has broken, they're asking him again, well, did you know? Were you covering for them? And he said, no, he didn't know. And that the kiss was real unless that he was being used. And the way he said it made me feel like he thought he might have been, And obviously, he was saying Tom made him do it, just a few weeks ago at the premiere of the show. So obviously now he's feeling like, oh yeah, I guess I was being used there, Yeah. The thing is they're all like 40 years old now.
Both Toms are 40 years old. Raquel's like 12.
She's like 28, I think she said.
Yes.
Which is, essentially closer to 12 than not, isn't it?
Well, yes.
Closer to 12 than 40 is.
I think she's the youngest of the cast, isn't she?
I think so. Well, I think her and James are... James is about 30, I think.
31, I thought. 32?
Maybe. But yeah, it's a mess, you guys. It's really a mess. And there just seems to be more and more coming out all the time. There was something about... He took Raquel to... Tom Sandoval is from St. Louis. He's always wearing St. Louis merch in the show to remind everybody that he's from, Missouri. Apparently he took Raquel to St. Louis for Christmas. I don't know where...
St. Louis.
I don't know where that information came from.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You're the one keeping up with it more than me.
Yeah. While apparently... Ariana's grandmother had just died, so she was in Florida with her mom and her brother, and Tom was in St. Louis with Raquel.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did Ariana know that she went to St. Louis with him? Did she not find that weird?
Maybe Ariana, it was a case of Ariana, she's my friend.
Yeah.
She's not interested in Tom. She's still in love with James.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh,
and she cried over James with Lisa Vanderpump.
I'm thinking about dating Peter and everybody, and then, of course, that thing comes up when Peter's like, oh, she's kind of, I don't know if she's really into me. She seems to be into, there was that clip. And both of the Toms were just like, laughing, like, oh yeah, you idiot. She's not into you at all.
Yeah, my God. It's very, very messy.
It's messed up. Raquel, you messed up.
Hopefully Ariana's...
Tom Sandoval, you messed up.
Hopefully Ariana's fine, though, and she'll move on to much greener pastures.
Yes. What did Tom Schwartz say? Hope she goes on a living spree.
Yeah, hope she goes on a living spree.
A living spree.
I like that, though. I mean, that's
living spree all over the world, and no one can stop her. Because she's Ariana.
Oh, my God. All right, we got to wrap this up.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, we really appreciate your support. Special thank you and shout out to our patrons. Be sure to follow us on social media if you don't already. We are at TButty, TEABUTTY on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. And we'll talk to you next time.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.